You were born into an age of reason, an age of science. All the sorcerers are dead, and all the spells lost to time. The jinn, if it existed, would be all there was. Imagine that. The only magical thing in a rationalist world. A vulnerable world of disbelief, where no reason would ever rescue you, nor science save you. He would have a fine old time, wouldn't he?
Actually, when I first got the script, it was an evil genie script, and my first thought was an evil genie movie. I mean, what are they going to do with this? But got a hold of Peter's script and read through it, and it was actually a lot of fun. It opened in ancient Persia, had a lot of creature effects in it, and he always managed to twist the wish around in an interesting way, so that intrigued me, and I actually thought it would be a fun project to do after I read the script.
Hey, Mark. Hey, Mark. Stand by, background, stand by. Action!
The original developing company came to me and said, you know, have you ever thought about writing a movie about an evil genie? And my reaction initially, I got to admit, was the same as everybody else's might be, which was no. But they gave me hundreds, literally hundreds of Xeroxed sheets of research material, and it was very, very interesting.
A jinn once freed can use the stone to bring forth his race to our reality and overwhelm humanity. Then activate it by finding the human who woke him into this world and granting him 3 wishes.
He's not some nameless primal boogeyman force that chases nubile teenagers around and kills them with garden implements. He's a guy that that has an agenda. He's a guy, you know, from the jinn's point of view, he's not a bad guy. He's just looking out for his own kind. We just happen to be the enemy.
Make your wish. I suggest you do it quickly, dear.
We wanted something different than Freddy, of course, and the character itself is a lot different than Freddy. But we went through a process of designing. I worked with this artist, John Bisson, or Darren Delwager, who was the other storyboard artist I had on the film. And we hung out a lot, working on a lot of different sketches, and wardrobe sketches, and armor, and his like fingertip things, everything. We started sketching all that out. I wanted something majestic, evil but not comical, and that's why we kind of went with the approach of these majestic horns, which originally were skulls and vertebrae coming out of the bone. It was like an ornamental thing, and we decided to actually incorporate it as a functional thing, which is the tentacles that come out, rather than just have it an ornamental thing that's, you know, is embedded in his head like jewelry. We went with that, and we also went with the long ancient earlobe things, and like in the old days they used to have their earlobes stretched down with like you know, plates. It was very tribal, and along with the tribal scars and everything on it, just to try to make a really majestic looking creature. And Andrew obviously plays it that way as well. Very and he's never physical. He's not really a physical creature. It's all done. The battle is done mentally in the film. So the jinn never really grabs anybody and throws them through the air, or, you know, cuts them in half or anything like that. So it's all done with the mind.
Let me start by saying that it's not a genie in the true sense of sort of rub a lamp and get your 3 wishes. It's in keeping really with the old Persian mythology of what a jinn was, which was really a malevolent spirit, a sort of a trickster who had been sort of kept in isolation for, could be for thousands of years, whether it's a lamp. In this case, it's a crystal. It's a red fire opal. Basically, playing the character was a blast for me because I got to do the special effects makeup, which is the jinn, the sort of the horror face, and I also got to play the sort of the human alter ego of this monster.
By the by, where is that tasty little sister of yours today?
Actually, when Andrew came on, he actually brought a lot to the role, although Peter had a lot of it in the writing. When he's in human form, he plays Demarest, who is kind of a suave, although sinister-looking character who has to be able to pull a wish out of somebody. So he has to, you know, he has almost this Christopher Lee thing going on, whereas he stares down his opponent and eventually solicits a wish out of him. And it's all in wordplay.
Holy shit. What are you, David Copperfield or something? How'd you do that?
Old family secret. Where is Alexandra?
Well, I'm sorry, but I don't really feel, comfortable. Tell me,
What would make you comfortable, Nick? Name it. Do.
what's my limit?
Your imagination.
I liked very much the fact that the Demarest character is somewhat more of a flirt. That there was a sort of an allowance for him to just kind of go with it and actually be a little wilder, if you can imagine, than the masked sort of djinn. I guess in a very strange way, when I think of the character, I don't really separate the human from the djinn. In a strange way, it all makes sense and is almost as if it were really an alter ego of the djinn, the human part. But as looking at it, it was kind of weird for me because when I saw that character was the antagonist.
Forgive my brashness.
Not to the point of, you know, overdoing it or beating a dead horse, as they say, but just pure enjoyment and glee out of seeing what he could do, his powers, using them.
Surely you're not telling me this is all you can do. Nor all you ever have done. It certainly isn't all you've ever wished for. Tell me the truth. Don't you grow weary of this job day in and day out? Wouldn't you like to escape into a more exciting profession?
What the fuck does that have to do with you?
Everything. Take the chance, Johnny. Answer the question. Would you like to escape?
Yeah.
As you wish. Houdini did it in 2.5 minutes.
I tried to bring the djinn out through the human every chance I got. So in other words, it's really in a sense working backwards. And it wasn't too hard to do that once I saw the makeup and realized, I mean, once it was fixed on, we had 3 stages of the djinn. There was the baby stage, the fetal stage, there was the second stage, so-called second stage, and the final djinn stage, which is that horrific looking makeup that took about 3 hours every morning to put on and about 1.5 hours to get off. But I think once I saw that, once I saw the makeup, looked at it in the mirror, I sort of, it brought things very much into focus.
Spare me, child. Behold my true face.
Oh my God.
Yes, the shit just hit the fan, didn't it?
I had done some prosthetic makeup before, which was really basically a mask, like a scuba gear mask, if you've ever seen one of those. Just pull it over your head and sort of glue down the edges. This had something like 12 pieces, 12 different pieces, each of which sort of articulated and was seamed into the other. One being the nose, then the sort of upper lip, and so forth, and the chin, and we would do these, this part of the chin going into the eyes. And so all of it would articulate, but you're right, it would, with a lot of sort of over-exaggeration. I felt it was really over-exaggerating, but as it turned out, upon seeing it, what came through the mask was really, because I asked to see the dailies right away, and it was really quite quite a nice revelation to see the first dailies and see how it worked.
Well, luckily, Andrew's worked in makeup before, so after the first couple days on set, by watching himself and watching the dailies and watching himself in the mirror, he was able to figure out how much expression he had to do underneath the makeup in order to manipulate, because whatever he does underneath the makeup has to be multiplied, 10 times to make the outer rubber actually, immune to any emotion or anything. So, after the first day or so on set, he was able to figure out exactly how big he should be in the makeup in order to bring it to life. Because this is an effects film, and it's very important that the actors be able to pull off a lot of the things that we're doing with them. Andrew, as well as everyone else, they have to, fake pain and fake, things aren't really there. They have to act against blue screens. Things aren't there. So the actors have to really, dig down deep and find that, and I have to also help them with that, telling them, okay, now the room is changing into something else, and you have to look around and see it, and then, show fear or whatever. So, but everybody, all the actors really did a terrific job across the board. I think all the actors in the film, I pretty much got the cast I was looking to get on the film, and I think Peter also was very happy with the actors portraying his words and everything.
Look, how many times I gotta tell you?
Hey, you left customers in there. That's not a good way to run a business.
Don't tell me how to run my business. You're a fucking bum.
Well, you don't tell me how to run my life. You're a fucking prick. I'll talk to anybody I want to. You don't own this fucking sidewalk.
You wanna know something? I do own this fucking sidewalk. You wanna know why? Because I pay fucking taxes.
Fuck you.
No, fuck you!
And 3, 2, 1!
Balance food, marker.
And action. I'm not the kind of director who goes, well, I don't want to shoot effects in this movie because, it's a psychological thriller. It's not a horror film, and I'm be the first to tell you this is straight out a horror film. So, and the effects are in your face, just like the rest of the film is in your face.
Oh, shit.
I'm totally happy with the effects work. I think it came out terrific, and the visual effects as well. And that's one of the other reasons Tom Ranoni was involved. I've worked with Tom for years on various films, and as an effects supervisor, he's come to K&B on Lord of Illusions and Bride of Reanimator and a lot of other films. So I brought Tom on when we needed a visual effects supervisor, and he really was there, keying a lot of the, making sure the shots were being done right, making sure that, the optical plates were shot correctly, and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I was brought in to help conceptualize and sort of, bring into the film good quality visual effects for, a very difficult budget. I'd hook up with Bob every morning, and we'd go through stuff, banter about ideas, where there were, like when the Djinn is Demarest in Wendy's apartment, and he's holding the 4 stones, and, it was always sort of an impetus to have a morph there, where he goes, to the Djinn from Demarest. But it's like, we just kind of reflect on the old antics of Buster Keaton-style match cut editing, and just sort of shoot it twice and cut on a blur when we whip up to each stage of, Demarest and then Djinn. That way we just sort of bypass an expensive morph, but yet we have a cool effect that I noticed a couple of nights ago really worked people at the AMC. So, I mean, this film is like really wonderful and exciting for me to have worked on, because growing up, I'm a horror fanatic and have been shooting horror pictures since I was like 11, and the whole 9 yards, like everyone on this film, because Bob brought in all of his friends, and so it was a wonderful collective communal effort of depravity that's, I think, sort of made it work.
I feel pretty, so pretty. I feel pretty and witty and fun.
Hey, Howard, look Cut.
One of the reasons we were able to pull off the film in such a short period of time, we had a relatively short period, 6 weeks shooting schedule, 33 days actually, and a really tight post schedule, was because K&B Effects, my effects company, my partners Howard Berger and Greg Nicotero were involved. Greg handled second unit on the film, and Howard keyed all the effects in the shop, and really they came through 110%. A lot of the guys in the film who work at K&B actually play in the film, wearing suits or getting killed in a party scene or whatever. And a lot of that worked out well because I was able to access those actors without having to go through a casting call, and because these guys play great in suits. They love to act in suits, and I got a lot of these guys stayed late after work working on their own costumes and their own makeups for the show, so they were really into it.
Yeah, I need to get one of these made for me just for everyday use. It's under a t-shirt, you know.
She's gotta wake Gino up.
What you need, scene that we'll be shooting is a very important scene. There's a bunch of statues that come to life. These are actually real statues with human heads on them. This was Gino Crognoli, who's actually the Italian stone man, and Henrik, man of bronze. And he actually went ahead, look at his arms. He waxed his arms for Bob, strictly for Bob, $35.
Come with us. We're trying to get this under control.
Hey, Speed.
Hey, Speed.
And set. Quiet. Action! That's a good one.
Over like this.
Thank you.
On action.
Malin comes out.
On action.
You vicious son of a bitch!
Don't approve. All right then. Fuck it. You know what I say. If you can't beat 'em, burn them, baby.
They're hot! He's on fire. Go ahead, Frank.
You know, the 9 other films we've worked on together, we'd go down to 101, you know, pick up, you know, pretty much a seasoned derelict hitchhiking, and just pretty much douse them with kerosene and light them up, you know, after a little smack, you know. And pretty much it works.
But the first time he ran up to the window, the squibs didn't go off on the window, and he bounced off the window, laid down on the floor. The stunt people ran in with fire extinguishers and put him out. And then we had to do him again so that he would break through the window. We had 3 cameras on it. We had 2 cameras inside and 1 camera outside the window, so he could do it and smash out the window in the same take. Well, on the film we had simultaneous second unit running right behind first unit, picking up inserts and effect shots. So Greg was, second unit was working on the Room of Lost Gods set, and we were blowing up the statues for the finale of the film. So they were all rigged with primer cord, and we blew each one. We had 3 cameras on them and everything. And we cleared the set out because it was going to be a loud bang, so everybody went outside for coffee or whatever, and we set it off and blew it.
I got it.
Put it out!
Quick! It's all fire.
There was 4 charges in the statue, so it would blow kind of like Independence Day style, like from the top to the bottom. And the top layer is blue and particleized the foam. So when the bottom layer blew, the foam ignited, and so the set went up, the cameras were engulfed in flames and melting, and we're all like panicked running out of the room, you know, getting fire extinguishers, everything, and putting it out. And it was pretty funny, but there was so much smoke after that it cleared the set for the whole day. We had to shut down for a day. But those are just a few of the unforeseen things that no matter how well you plan things, there's always something that can be a little off. So you just have to be prepared to put it out and start anew the next day. I would never consider myself ever an actor, nor do I like to act. I do like to ham it up in death sequences, though. I'd be happy to work in anybody's films if they want to squib me, machine gun me, you know. I'll take some bullet hits.
Action! And head, and 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000.
Alright, got it.
Alright, so which lines do we want the cables? Do we want them to be more organized?
Head was actually in my first film, Demolitionist, in one little cameo sequence where a guy comes in with a severed head. And it was actually supposed to be used in From Dusk Till Dawn. I had a death scene that was that we were going to shoot where I got my head bit off by a creature. And we never ended up shooting, and we actually shot with somebody else because I had to go away and direct Demolitionist. So anyway, we had the head around, and we had this whole idea of incorporating stuff in the room into the party chaos. And one of the things was the piano, and we had the wires whip out and reverse action around me and everything. And we had a fake dummy of my head, you know, that we put the wires in and yanked it off. So that was fun because I got to, you know, die. You know, I think that's a fun thing to do in a film, is get slaughtered.
It's just a good, wholesome monster movie. God, it seems like they just started a couple of months ago, and I can't believe there's release prints pounding the Universal Cineplex Odeon to gang members across L.A. It's beautiful.
There's a moment on the set, the last moment when I knew I was going to the trailer to take the latex off for the last time, and it was both a very, very happy, excited moment for me, but also it was a sad moment, knowing that basically this was something, and the feeling and the vibe was something that really couldn't be revisited. This sort of was the beginning of the closure of the whole thing. And I, at that moment, and I think everybody on the set at that moment, we thanked each other, and I said that it was one of the most unforgettable experiences that I've ever had as an actor and in my life, and that I'll never forget it.
Anytime I can make the movie look bigger than the budget, I mean, it's kind of the goal is to make it bigger and better than a lot of other stuff being done in the same budget range or the same genre. And that was my goal, just to pack as much as I could onto the screen, make a fun ride, and I like to go to horror films and just sit there and have a good time, be scared, have a few laughs, see some, of course, gore effects, because a horror movie needs it. And, I'm very happy with the way it turned out.